What up, my man of society? It is your host with the most, Shadow Loke, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. That is how you help my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate you. Go ahead and do that. Now, what I wanted to talk about today was actually the talk of the town. I've been getting sent a lot of emails, right? Well, to my other channel, right? But I decided to answer it here because there's a good video that's going to come out on that other channel, right? So let's fuck up the algorithm. Right? And I've been getting a lot of emails. This is another topic that has been blowing out of control, right? And it was just difficult answering everybody's questions that they had, right? Some people, were, for the track coming out. Some people were saying that, nah, they think it's fake and yada, yada, yada. So many questions, right? And I wasn't actually going to make a video talking about this, right? Because it's none of my business. Right? But since, everybody was asking, right? Just to let people know that I actually do pay attention, right? And, it's a sensitive subject, right, too. So how to, talk about this matter, is actually, something people are so keep that in mind, right? Which was Diablo's coming out with his diss rolla towards Mr. Criminal. Now, for the ones who are pretending to be homies, sending me emails, if you're a homie, then you should already know, all of this, right? So the fact that you're sending the way you're sending it leads me to only believe that you're not a homie, right? Because if you were a homie, this is not... You would have already known all this, right? So, but to the outside world, right, looking in, we never speak without no paperwork. This is true, Now, does the paperwork need to be put out there? No. Only the ones that need to know will know. So if you need to know, you will know. If you don't need to know, then you don't know, right? So for people to say that they need to see the paperwork, well, if you're a homie, then you would already know, right? So, I don't know what to tell you, right? If you're not a homie, then you don't need to see the paperwork. Why do you need to see the paperwork? And because if you're not a homie, then none of this should concern you, right? Gangster rules and politics have no concern to you, or you should not care at least, right? Because then you're pretending like if you're a part of the mix, or pretending to follow the street rules without being actually a member of a street gang. It's odd in itself, right? Because then it's like, well, you might as well go get jumped into a gang if you're living by those rules, right? Not to be an asshole, but I mean, just facts are facts. Facts over feelings, right? Overall, there's been a lot of questions, right, being asked, right? Like, why did he wait till now to speak on it and all that? And people have to understand that there's certain ways, you go about things and certain reasons for stuff, that I just can't speak on. And you don't need to be aware of that either way, right? I get it, from the outside looking in, you're kind of just like puzzled at some of the stuff, right? Now, when people are saying, well, what does he mean by that track that he's, he labeled him a snitch, and that's something that you just don't mess around with, right? He explains himself in the rap, right? And I don't understand how people could still be, like confused, right? Okay, so basically how this works, because I've been in this scenario plenty of times, not to brag, not to boast, or not to, make the life, put it on a pedestal or nothing like that, right? Just breaking down the experience, right? You can choose to believe it or not. It's irrelevant, bro. You know what I mean? Not here to try to look like I'm gangster or down or whatever. Believe what you want. It's irrelevant, right? But this is just what it is. So when you're in the mix, right? I've been in this scenario several times, right? Like, let's say your homie commits a crime, right? A serious crime, right? And let's say when the cops start doing their investigation, they get some tips that, the person they're looking for is always at your house, or you might be housing him there, right? Because he tends to be there a lot and chills there a lot, right? So what's going to end up happening is that your house is going to get raided, bro. Your house is going to get raided. It's going to be like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and they're going to kick your door down. They're going to go in there with rifles and shields and the whole works, bro. And whoever's in the household, your grandma, your grandpa, your sons, your daughters, your little nephews, your little brothers and sisters, everyone is going to get rounded up, handcuffed, including the little ones, because they don't know if the little ones are trained to go and run and get a firearm or whatever, right? So they got to handcuff everybody, bro. It's a traumatizing scenario to be putting any little one through, but this is the life that you live. This comes with the territory. And they're going to take everyone outside and have you guys all out there, you know what I mean? And while they raid your house, they're gonna destroy your house. They're gonna fuck it up. They're gonna be looking for the person that they're looking for, or evidence leading to the person that they're looking for, right? Whether they find something in your pad or not, I don't know, right? So then what's gonna happen is that they're gonna take the ones who feel like they know about this scenario, right? So it would be me and my uncles that they would take, right? And they're gonna detain you for questioning. For up to 48 hours, they're allowed to detain you. And in those 48 hours, they're gonna try to grill you to give you, where is this motherfuckers at? Where, you know who we're looking for? Give us the information of where those motherfuckers are at, or where he's at, or where he might be going, or anything like that. And you as a homie supposed to say, fuck you, I ain't saying shit, give me my lawyer. It's that easy, my boy. I've been put in this scenario plenty of times. I've been put in a scenario where my homies have snitched on me. I'm not a homie no more, but one of my closest doggy dogs. And it's heartbreaking, bro. So I understand what Diablo's going through. Someone that you thought was like your brother and that would never do that. I understand the feeling, bro. I remember the rage. I remember the disappointment. If anything, I was more hurt than mad. You know what I mean? Because we grew up together and, like, it's crazy though. You know what I mean? But not to get into, this is not about me, right? But, so, vice versa, right? So basically what he said in the rap is that when the cops break into his house, and he said that they had him and his girl and his kids up in the curve, and he said that he didn't say nothing, or he might have said something, but he would have never gone to court and testified. So maybe he might have told them where to find him. That's snitching. If you tell the cops, yeah, you might be able to find him here or here or here, that's snitching, my boy. Giving any type of information that's going to lead to somebody's arrest or where they can find the individuals is snitching, my boy. You're supposed to say nothing and get your lawyer, especially if you have paper. If you have money, then you got nothing to sweat, bro. And let me tell you, when they're going to tell you how they're going to lock you up, they're going to charge you for for housing a fugitive. They're going to tell you how they're going to take away your kids, how they're going to you're going to go down for 10 years, 15 years. They're going to be letting you know, bro. They're going to be hitting you with all this and that, bro. They're going to be lying how some of the homies have already said something, implementing you. They're going to say how they could even link some stuff. They're going to throw everything out there to scare you. Luckily, I had homies that gave me up, right? Told me the tricks that the cops do, right? They lie, they falsify statements, they tell you, they try to scare you to say something, right? They're gonna scare you with this and with that. You as a homie, well, us when we were younger, we would read up on our laws, on our rights, because it's important. You want to be breaking the law, at least know your law, at least know what you can say, what you can't say, what they could do to you and what they can't do to you. That way you're gamed up. So as youngsters, we were already gamed up because we would get tested by the older homies this information, right? And if you didn't know the information, you were going to get a beat down, right? So we were gamed up. So we knew that the cops were lying, that it takes longer to test evidence, so they wouldn't have even had the evidence so soon at that time, right? And there was some stuff that it would go against your rights, right? So there's no way in hell that they will be able to make all this stick. You as a homie should know all of this. But if you don't know none of this, I can see why you could be easily fooled by the cops and be scared into saying something. Especially if you have it all, right? And now you're being threatened they're going to take it all away, right? But you should already know that they can't do it and they can't just do it like this and like that. You know what I mean? Then you should be already gamed up, bro. At least if you speaking on the streets and know about the streets, you should already know all this, bro. That they can't just do this, and that. But they could say it. It's not against the law for them to lie. Cops are allowed to do that. You should at least know all of that, right? So, those scenarios, that's how it goes about, right? That's what ends up happening, right? My house has been raided a shitload of times, over the years, being in the mix. You labeling your group the crime family, and you have criminals around you, gang members, and you gangster yourself, you should already know that potential chance of any of this could happen at any moment. Cops could hit your pad, or one of your homies could be involved in some shit. You should already know all of this. So if you're not going to be down with this, or not down to lose this or lose that or risk it all, then you should just walk away from the life, bro. Because as long as you're involved with these kind of individuals and you're putting yourself in these kind of scenarios, then the potential chance of the scenarios happening will happen. Because that's what this life endures with, is attached to negativity, chaos, and bullshit. You know what I mean? So labeling the crime family and having real gang members who are really doing stuff, then you should already know that shit like this is going to happen. It shouldn't be a shock. Like, damn, why the homies putting me in this kind of predicament? Look at the people you're assigning and look at the name of your label. What you expect was to be happening. This is, some people don't really just, it's not a game, it's not for show, it's not a gimmick. Some people are really living this and really about that. So if you don't want to be, having these bullshit scenarios happen or this shit happening, then don't sign homies, don't fuck with homies, and keep yourself away from the streets. If you don't want, you can't have your cake and eat at the same time. You can't want the gangster image and the gangster shit, but without none of the negativity like rivals and hudas and cases and all that. That's not how it works, bro. And every one of us knows this, who's in the life. Shouldn't be a shock when you're sitting in there, bro. You shouldn't be shocked. There shouldn't be stressing. Fuck, I'm going to lose it all. You should have already known all this. Come on now. Who's really living the life and really expecting nothing to happen or not to be put in any of these type of scenarios? No one is that delusional. But overall, that's just pretty much, what I get out of it, right? And at least what I could talk about and speak on, right? And for those who don't know, you know what I mean? What he chooses to do with his life, I wish him the best and que le vaya bien anyway, and free Diablo, and it's fucked up, it's go shit. You know what I mean? But it's the way it is, Now, for those who are wondering, is the paper true? Is it real? Is he this or is he that? You know what I mean? If you will know, you will know. I'm not gonna say if it is. If you know, then you know. And if you want to find out, you can find out. You know how to find out. You don't need the internet for that, right? And if you're not a part of the life, then you're not meant to know, and you shouldn't even care. What people do, right? Because you don't live by those rules, because you're not from the streets. But I'm just saying, that's just overall my thoughts and breakdown, my opinions. Shadow, we out.